Oh, yeah. 1-800-449-8255. You're on the fabulous, unreal, simply dynamic, and skilled Clark the Shark Show. 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous golden EIB Sharkophone. Don't ever call it a microphone, baby. It's a solid gold, not gold-plated Sharkophone, not a microphone at all, given to me by Dick Clark in 1972, actually. I know I say 1973 a lot, but I was 8. I was actually 7 in 1972 when Dick Clark handed me the Sharkophone, and he said, "One day, Sharky, you will be on the air and you will rule the airwaves." And I was like, nah, there's no way, Dick Clark. I'm only 7 years old and like, I've had a troubled childhood. And he's like, don't worry, Sharky. It's all good, because just like Laura Nyro, it's going to be okay. Well, sort of, maybe. I don't know. But here on the Sharky Show, I'm going to talk about one of the most groundbreaking people in music, perhaps way ahead of her time, only begins to understate it or something. I mean, you talk about the person who invented the 1970s, maybe more so than Harry Nilsson did. I don't know. It's a close call, but there were two people already in the 1970s, in the 60s. And one of them is Harry Nilsson for certain, with all that way ahead of its time stuff. And of course, the other one is Laura Nyro, more than a new discovery. 1967, early, before psychedelia. I know you guys expect Clark the Shark's underground psychedelic garage, but this album, no, not really. This is before. It's really recorded in 1966, about the same time as The Doors, maybe, the debut album, perhaps. I don't know, something like that. But this very unhappy childhood of a person who grew up and almost never smiled, kind of like on the cover of this album where she appears to be grinning or smiling. Laura Nyro almost never smiled. She always looked unhappy. I would say she maybe invented that. I know there were probably other unhappy girls back in the day. Sure, there were. And there were probably other proto-70s musicians in the 60s other than Nilsson and her. You could make a strong argument that, like, Mike Nesmith from the Monkees was kind of ahead of his time, or I don't know, of course Frank Zappa, but there are people in the 60s who were visionaries. But this girl here, with this incredible debut album, she invents the 1970s. Now, maybe it's the 70s the way you hate it, that adult contempo pop thing. But I, Clark the Shark, love it. I don't know why. I'm just fucked up and weird. I like mellow, easy listening, jazzy 70s. Later on it would evolve into AAA in the 90s. I don't really like the 90s, but the 70s adult music, there's something about it. I like it. Bread, of course, and others. I'm not really hugely wild about, like, Elton John, even though I know every album, but he loved Laura Nyro, you guys, and there's a reason why. This girl was Barbara Streisand, maybe before Barbara Streisand. I mean, I know Barbara Streisand was around, but this girl just comes along and does that thing like better or something out of nowhere. And what's really funny about it all and kind of sad is not enough people at the time or today really know about her. But fortunately for you people tonight, I, Clark the Shark, did and still do right here on the Clark the Shark Show, where I'm going to describe this pop R&B adult album, and yet it's there's this unhappy thing in it that is kind of confusing because it also seems kind of uplifting and joyous in some weird way. Not really, though. I mean, the song And When I Die, of course, later redone much better by Blood, Sweat, and Tears, was written by Laura Nyro. Now, this genius of a girl here, there wouldn't be, of course, that version, by BST. No way, baby, without her version. But this genius, I mean, I can only call her a genius. She was genius. She wrote her own songs. And then sadly, often her other songs got done better by other artists, not her. Kind of like Harry Nilsson, too, sadly. But she does have some songs that I know that you all know. And even if you don't, she's still such a amazing talent, singer, genius. She's more Barbara Streisand than Barbara Streisand will ever be, you guys. I think even Barbara Streisand says that right here on the Clark the Shark Show. And I'm attracted to the unhappy proto-punk new wave riot girl. I mean, she's just so miserable or something. And she like died of cancer. I mean, everything about her is miserable. I love it, you guys. I love miserable, unhappy people. I'm not really miserable and unhappy. Me, Clark the Shark, they say that, but I'm actually joyous every day. I get up, drink my coffee, and other people bring me down. I don't think I go around bringing anyone down. Clark the Shark is always just smiling and praying in my brain, in my mind to God, Lord, please forgive Sharky for, all the douchebaggy things I do. And God's like, yeah, whatever, Shark, it's like Spicoli. You remember Mr. Hand? He's like, you'll probably squeak by. I'm like, God, you're not going to send me to hell, are you, bro? And he's like, no, Spicoli, Sharky, whatever. You'll probably get in there, pathetically, even though you don't deserve it. But I hope and pray Laura Nyro is in heaven with the Lord, because this genius of a singer, songwriter, original inventor, talent, inventive, you guys, she invented. She probably copies, Billie Holiday or something, or all those a little herself. But in the time of this album, 1967, there was nothing like this. After this, there was a lot of stuff like this. There's like Carly Simon and all that later on in the 70s, and it wants to be Laura Nyro. You could even make a case that Barbara Streisand was trying to be Laura Nyro, and a whole bunch of them, Roberta Flack. Maybe not, I don't know. But when I think 1970s, I think Laura Nyro. But really, this girl probably had her best things in the late 1960s, kind of like Nilsson. When you think of Harry Nilsson, you think of Nilsson Schmilsson and Son of Schmilsson and, the American Standards and Pussycats and all that. But all of that was long, long after the glory days of albums like Harry and Aerial Ballet, you guys. It's true. Even Pandemonium Shadow Show. And depressingly, I say that kind of about Laura Nyro, you guys. Now, I know it's going to get all good stars. It will. I don't care what it gets. You know, it should get, yeah, well, All Music gave it a 4 out of 5. You know, Clark the Shark could only give this a 5, you guys. And all tracks written by Laura, you guys. You know, this music is so beautiful. Her voice is so amazing, you guys. Now, of course, the version of When I Die is nothing like Blood, Sweat, and Tears, who do a much, much way better version. But that's irrelevant and not important because Laura Nyro's version is the version. I mean, she is the originator, and hers is pretty good in itself, but albeit in a totally, completely different way from Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And Goodbye Joe, the opening song, it should be lit up in blue at Wikipedia, you guys. Awesome. The singing just really atmospheric, contagious. What a voice. Billy's Blues, awesome. Just everything. You guys know Lazy Susan is incredible. I mean, side one here is riveting, you guys. Every single song. She invents and creates and is such an originator, inventive, absolute, the first, you guys. You know how they say, hey, Clark the Shark, he invented grunge. He was way before everybody. In 1983, when he was 18. It's not true, you guys. Black Flag, the Stooges, the Minutemen, Husker Du, the Damned, the Who, David Bowie, all before Clark the Shark, you guys. I didn't invent anything. I stole, and that's practically all I do when I do music is rip off. I have this original thing, you know, with my voice and drumming. You know, my drumming really is the show, but then, you know, once I cut a drumming track, I can go and overdub guitars, vocals, and that's when the Sharky atmospheric magic begins. After I have, you know, the drums and the bass recorded, and then, you know, everyone's like, listen to the soaring Sharky singing. He uses his voice as an instrument. But you guys, I don't even know how to sing compared to Laura Nyro. On side one of this album. If you want to hear real singing, I recommend you go buy this album at Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, everywhere, you guys. You got to get into it. Now, Wedding Bell Blues, of course, the Fifth Dimension version is way better than Laura's. But that's irrelevant, you guys. In some weird, twisted way, her version will always be better because it is the original. I mean, and she's a genius. And genius gets expanded upon, you guys, like it or not. And sometimes the original genius gets forgotten, and then someone else comes along and takes all the glory or steals all the glory. I don't know, you guys. Unfortunately, it just works out that way. But in the next life, all of you will be locked in an elevator listening to Clark the Shark radio, songs, poetry, writings, and that will be your hell for ignoring me. And a lot of you are like, Shark, I don't ignore you, bro. I fucking swear to God, I listen to your shit, dude. Don't be bad to me, talking Sharky. And I'm like, you know, like that doll talking Tina on the Twilight Zone. You know, I can buy and sell you, sort of like Laura Nyro. for He's a Runner, and the incredible Blown Away. I mean, a lot of you are blown away by Clark the Shark, but I want you to get into real talent because I'm just a hack. I just imitate, David Bowie and John Lennon or, Greg Lake or, I don't know, not Sir Paul, but anyone who can kind of sing in a whiny voice. Clark the Shark will definitely imitate them. And I might have to multi-track it like 9 times, kind of like John Lennon did. But I never meant to hurt you. I swear to God, you guys. But in the next life, remember, your existence here on Earth was only created and dreamed up by me, Clark the Shark. Yeah, that's right. All of you out there, you think I'm fucking kidding? I'm not. Your whole world in this simulation that Elon Musk accidentally stumbled upon and discovered that I, Clark the Shark, programmed, and I did all the DNA. And I swear to God, dude, they ripped off all my ideas for Star Wars, all that shit, you guys. I'm not kidding. California shoeshine boys. That's how I ended up. I'm just a fucking Laura Nyro song, you guys, in the end. But this unhappy girl, this miserable girl with the horrible childhood, kind of like Clark the Shark at 1-800-449-8255, right here from the golden EIB Sharkerphone. It's not a microphone and it's not broadcasting. It's shark casting. I love these songs from this incredible classic voice. I love great singers, you guys. And I tried to be one with the Greenhouse Effect. And sometimes I succeeded, A lot of you were like, well, Sharky, you're just mediocre. Sometimes you fail, Shark, Garth. You're not always that good, And I'm like, well, you better always at least agree with Sharkadoodle-Doo, the Sharkalama-Ding-Dong, right here at 1-800-449-8255 on the Sharky Show. Because when I'm talking about Laura Nyro, this incredible adult contempo, yet childlike and innocent, sad voice. Sad, you guys, it is. Just a little bell rang when I said sad, because stony and amazing song, you guys. And that's how I feel I'm going to come to an end, like in a nuclear war with all of you. But I will go on living somehow, and all of you will be imploded right here on the Clark the Shark Show, because right now I'm getting in kind of a bad mood, like Laura Nyro. When I take pictures, I'm usually smiling or something. I'm not all sad and down like Laura Nyro. She's just the original punk rock princess, you guys. She was so beautiful, talented, amazing, and soft. And I have a feeling if I was with Laura, she'd be like, take out the trash, Clark the Shark. You never do anything. I'd be like, all right, Laura, I love you, Laura. She'd be like, here, let me sing your lame song. Give me the acoustic guitar. I'm like, Laura, I want to sing one. She's like, no, watch me. I'm going to get on the piano and show you how it's done. And she would be right, you guys, I swear. Laura Nyro is not in hell, you guys. She's in heaven. Whether she believed in God or not, I don't think she did, or maybe she did. I don't know. I heard there was even kind of like this little Christian thing about her, like she was confused, like part atheist, part Christian, and definitely psychotic and just completely messed up in the head. She was so sad. It's so amazing and beautiful. I absolutely love a confused, twisted, lost person like Laura Nyro, but who was so amazing and talented. There'll never be anyone this original ever again, you guys. And I think Barbara Streisand said that. She's like, I'm no Laura Nyro. And Elton John was saying that too, you guys. If you want to hear a genius who completely invented, and I know a lot of you are like, Shark, she's just copying, the classics. Come on, you guys, it was 1966. No girl singers were really doing that, you guys. And I know there were incredible people back then. Joan Baez comes rocketing, straight to mind, and others, Judy Collins, Grace Slick. Gosh, I'm talking white girls here. I'm not going to break down the black girls because we know they're amazing. But the only really miserable, sad, pathetic, just really dreary and sullen white girl punk rock genius, like such a genius, you can't even talk to you. She's way beyond you, you guys. Laura Nyro. And this debut album, I'm going to review all her albums because they get even way better after this. And even if she's not top 10 or top 20, sometimes she gets way up there, though, on the charts, you guys. But in general, she doesn't got like, a Without You by Nilsson or, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton or, tracks by Bread and all that. Or, Jim Croce or, all those 70s guys, John Denver. They all came and pissed on her red carpet, you guys, that she rolled out. And she never really got a chance to walk it, Laura Nyro. But what an incredible talent and influence upon yours truly, me, Clark the Shark, right here at the Golden Sharkrophone. Fuck it, you guys, it's just a microphone. Only Laura Nyro can really sing into a sharkrophone. I haven't earned the right. No way, you guys. In this review, it's just a microphone, you guys, because I can't hold a candle to real talent. Songwriting genius, absolutely inventive creativity, creations like this powerful, fabulous woman. Powerful. Wow. Laura Nyro. Buy all of her music. If you're just 21 years old right now in November 2023, and you were born in, 2002, you're born after 9/11. You're just a baby in 2004, like fucking shitting your diapers and pissing your diapers. And, you're just a toddler in 2005. But now you think you're an indie fucking genius and you got so much cred. Dude, you don't know fucking shit until you hear Laura Nyro and you go buy all her albums at Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, or vinyl record stores or the Rhodium in Torrance or garage sales all over the United States or beat up scratchy record stores. I don't care what you gotta pay for the vinyl. You buy it, baby. You buy some Laura Nyro. In particular, I want you to get this debut album from this girl from the Bronx. She's the real deal, you guys. She started it all. If you want the truth, I hate to say that. And I love to say that because there is great music before her, but she came along and she hits the ball off the wall in right center, and she rounds the bases for an inside the park home run. The ball comes to the plate. She's not even sliding. She's standing up, crossing home plate. She goes, throw me that fucking ball. Now I'm going to autograph it. because I just hit an inside the park grand slam, Laura Nyro. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. And maybe you won't suffer in the next life, you guys. I won't send you all to hell, which is exactly all you deserve. But since you were good tonight, and you listened to some Laura Nyro, and you heard me out right here on the Clark the Shark Show, I'm only going to lock you in a coffin underground for 3 days after you die. And you won't rise again like the Lord Jesus Christ on the 3rd day. I might fucking keep you down there for 4 days right here on the Clark the Shark Show. Yeah, I'm going to let you out, but you're going to fucking suffer. You don't get to heaven and eternity and fun until you are as miserable as Laura Nyro. This unhappy, sad, morbid young lady, and then who died at such a young age. I think it was ovarian cancer or maybe breast cancer. I don't know the way she died. I know she wasn't shot. She wasn't run over. That would be too quick for Laura Nyro. She had to suffer, you guys, because her whole life was suffering. And I thank God, the Lord God above, for beautiful, strong, talented, genius women like Laura Nyro. And I want you to buy this music, you guys, right here on the Clark the Shark Show. And I hope you do it tonight on November 28, 2023, after you hear this review. And listen to this album over and over, and then email me. And I don't want you to be like, Sharky, it just sounds like rehashed Streisand. It doesn't, because although there was Barbara Streisand before this, Barbara Streisand didn't discover the real Barbara Streisand until Laura Nyro. I'm not kidding, you guys. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, and you tell him the Sharkalama Ding Dong, the mighty, incredible Sharkadoodle Doo. He sent you to buy Laura Nyro and buy up as many of these MP3s as you can. Buy this whole album and listen to it, people. And I'm out of here. Peace.